Howdy folks, Pilgrim here. Folks, this is a last minute video before darkness falls, and it's already falling quickly, to tell you to watch out for the moon tonight, January the 31st, 2018. Now, through these studies of the Genesis timeline, many of you have seen, time and time again, clearly demonstrated how God does so many things in threes. Well, here's something we haven't seen before, at least not that I know of, since the Genesis timeline. It's interesting that this thing happens bang on at the very end of that 70-year period, on 2018. First thing that happens, first of its kind. Again, we have threes. It is a blue moon, a total lunar eclipse, and a supermoon, all at the same time. Now, there are numerous websites, that'll be showing it live and so on, as you know, and you can watch it online and so on. I'll probably be out in my backyard with a pair of binoculars, but anyway. Some are calling it a super blue blood moon. All right, but it's all three events in one. And where have you heard that before? If this had happened 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 2 years ago, okay, would have been interesting. The fact that as soon as 2018 arrives, boom, this 3 times event comes. God does so many things in threes. Maybe you don't think like I do, but after what we've seen during the last 10 years, since 2008, those who've been with me on this channel through this and seen all the stuff that we've discussed, this is, it's more of the same astonishing stuff that the world is too far asleep to take notice of, or to realize that it's significant. They'll hear it and say, oh, superstition. Because they're unaware of everything that we've seen throughout the Hebrew calendar. 1948, all those prophecies coming true. 1967, 2014 to 15, all the stuff. I mean, just a study of the whole Genesis timeline. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, to those new ones to my channel, I say this: please click on my name here on YouTube and go to playlists, and then when you see the playlist, the Genesis timeline, click on that, and it will be the first 20 videos in that playlist, something like that. Okay, you won't get through it in a night, but it's worth going through them. It will change your understanding, your view of Scripture forever. It will change it for the better, and you will be blown apart. Okay, I mean, there's just so much in there, I can't even explain it right now. Some are calling this a super blue blood moon, and the connotations and significances behind the combination of blue and red are just too numerous to put into this video. That'll have to be a different video at a different time, although I have discussed it before with reference to the curtains of the tabernacle and so on. Watch it if you can. Take a look at, watch out for this tonight. It's going to be interesting. If you can get it online, or on some other thing, or through binoculars, on TV maybe, whatever, wherever you are in the world, have a look for it. Watch out for it, and it should be interesting. 3 events in one. I don't know what the future is bringing, but I know that the kingdom is coming. I know who sits on the throne, and I know who ordained the lunar calendar that just happens to tie in perfectly its timing with all of these events surrounding Israel right now that atheist views cannot explain. Coincidence doesn't explain it. That's ridiculous. They have no word for this. And once I actually open up and show them the Genesis timeline, even those who still don't want to believe, they see the better option of saying nothing rather than denying, because there's nothing to say. It's just the way it is. Enjoy the moon tonight. God bless you. And if it be the Lord's will, perhaps we'll see each other soon. God bless. Howdy folks, Pilgrim here. Well, folks, yesterday was a really historic day, as you can tell, but I want to just quickly recap on the whole picture, you know what I mean? Yesterday, the United States recognized Jerusalem as the true capital of Israel. And it's really strange how the events that went along with that did so. Because at the time that was happening, yes, the Palestinians were rioting, 50 of them, the number of Jubilee, got killed, which reminds me that one day Israel will be free of their oppression. And it was kind of disgusting watching the false claims of the CNN people saying, oh, these people have been here for thousands of years and it's their capital too. No, it wasn't. All right, go back to the 1938 and so on. In the years before Israel was reestablished as a nation, the Egyptians were busy killing hundreds of thousands of them. They were just carpet bombing these guys, these Palestinians, because no one cared for them. They're basically the Arab world equivalent of gypsies. They come from Libya, they come from Syria, they come from Lebanon, they come from all the surrounding countries. They have not been there for thousands of years, claiming Jerusalem as their capital. So that's a false claim. But on the very day that the U.S. recognizes Jerusalem as the true capital of Israel, on that same time, what do you see in America? Major storms ripping America up left, right, and center, all across the center. The beautiful places of America, like the Hawaii and so on, is being destroyed by that volcano, which is erupting fissures, 19 of them, fissures spewing lava coming right up in the middle of towns, all over Hawaii, or all over that part of the island of Hawaii. But it's a big threat to the rest of the island too. It's just very interesting watching that happen. All of this happening on the very day that Jerusalem is recognized as the true capital of Israel. We are in the last days. These things are happening right before your eyes. They have never happened before. God bless you. And perhaps we'll see each other soon. God bless. Howdy folks, Pilgrim here. Folks, a couple of days ago I went on Benjamin Netanyahu's YouTube channel, and I found what I learned from him personally was that sinkholes have started appearing all around the Dead Sea. Have any of you heard about this? Now, I didn't know about this, but what I'm thinking is that in the last couple of years we know that the Dead Sea has been drying up at an alarming rate, and they've been trying to save it by adding more water from other water sources. And if it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. I don't know. They're trying to save it. It's a major part of their economy. I get that, but apparently so many of them have been appearing that it's now the reports of it have now reached up into Parliament. So that's kind of interesting. Now, on the other subject, the subject of the Hebrew letters appearing in the sky, principally they've been appearing in Israel. Words and phrases, I mean whole sentences at times. But aside from Israel, mostly in the US. As far as I know, they're appearing in Europe and Australia and England and other places like that. You see what I mean? And I've been trying to collect these. But given the interesting perspective on this is that given the nations of this world's hell-bent pursuit of their own destruction, the way they're heading in, the direction they're heading in, Israel is the only nation in the world that seems to want to live. And the expression that's been appearing above Israel and around the world is the phrase chai, which means live or life, And this is just really interesting stuff, especially also given the prophetic warnings and the nature of the US's attitude toward Israel. A lot of these have been appearing all over the United States. Take a look at some of these pictures, okay?